Bethesda's newest IP is finally here, and before I do my obligatory stealth archer build, we have to take the unarmed build for a test run. But everywhere I look online, people are absolutely trashing it. I mean, how bad could it really be? It's got 3 separate perks dedicated to it. And unarmed was always incredibly viable in other Bethesda games. Well, there's only one way to know for ourselves, and why not make a challenge out of it to get the full unarmed experience. Now, the game forces multiple companions on you throughout the campaign, and there are some ship encounters you can't skip, so those will be our only exceptions. Now let's see if I can beat Starfield using only my fists. As we start our journey, we're immediately faced with our first challenge, sitting through this dialogue without turning the game off.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
That is literally me trying to pee at 3 AM half awake. Moving on to character creation, and who better to punch the lights out of spacers across the galaxy than Buff J-Hope. We're sure to grab Bouncer for our background since it starts us with a perk in both boxing and fitness. The traits are really up to personal preference, but I grabbed Wanted since it gives us additional damage as our health gets lower. With our character named, we head outside. I don't know if this was just dumb luck or if it's guaranteed loot, but I found a legendary pistol almost immediately. Sure wish I could use it. But as I was starting to get bored, some pirates show up and allow me to take my fist for a test run. We're actually doing really great damage, with the enemies only taking a few punches to kill.
Right in the cornhole, you dumb bitch.
After the dust settles, Barrett gives us his ship, because of course he does, and we're off to space. After learning how to fly the ship, we're headed straight back into the planet to murder the remaining pirates hunting us down for the artifact. Before the calling, I did a little test to see how much of a damage boost we get from our wanted perk, and after blowing myself up, I'm sort of impressed at how much it actually increases our damage. We go from doing 22 to 46 damage in a single power attack, nearly doubling the damage we're doing when our health is low enough. The risk versus reward isn't quite worth it since we can still die incredibly fast, but we'll get some armor later to help make this a bit more viable. After caving in the skulls of a few more pirates, we hit level 2 and immediately put it into boxing. Arriving outside, Joe Brogan threatens me with my life, unaware that I had a trick up my sleeve for this exact encounter: performance enhancing drugs. Before leaving the planet, Vasco and I jaunt over to the local abandoned shipping depot where we promptly farm some XP. My mitts have taken enough lives today and they're starting to hurt, so it's time to head to New Atlantis. Before landing, we hit level 3 and grab a perk in lockpicking. Landing on New Atlantis for the first time is actually pretty awe-inspiring. The vibe feels very realistic for a city in space, and I take some time to really drink it in.
What the hell?
Finding our first vendor, we immediately drain her credits from offloading all the loot I've been shoving into Vasco's dumpy. That's not me being crass. It actually stands for Direct Undercarriage Management for Property thing. Before long, I found myself lost in the well. I ended up finding a vendor selling a UC Marine spacesuit. It was a tad expensive, but the protection it offers was much better than what I had on currently. We'll be needing that extra damage reduction in a bit. Moving back upstairs, we finally meet Constellation and all of its members.
Dang! What's up with all these books?
I immediately don't like Walter.
I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
Couldn't it be part of...
After listening to everyone bicker, I hit level 4 and dump the point into wellness. The more points we put into physical, the sooner we can get access to our next tier of unarmed perks. After only knowing me for about 5 total minutes, Sarah immediately asks me to join her on a mission to investigate a lead on another artifact. They don't give you the option to have her meet you there, so after getting rid of Vasco, I'm immediately forced to have Sarah in my party as well. Really glad I picked up Introvert as one of my traits. Next on the list is to hunt down some overpowered early game gear. After that, we'll get dug in on the main story.
My fists are itching, my knuckles are itching, I need to punch something, and I need to do it quick.
While working on my main mission with Sarah, we take a moment to stop by a local spacer outpost and hope one of the ruffians drops what we need. After hitting level 5, we find the quest item.
Secret outpost? Ah, there it is, Mantis. That's the mission we're looking for.
The mission starts as soon as you pick it up, but it technically wasn't intended for you to do until level 30. After running into some bounty hunters on my way back to the ship, we quickly realize we're outnumbered. So to even the odds, we take enough drugs to explode an elephant's heart.
Dummy, you know what? Before we kill you, I'm gonna go ahead, rank up, and I'm gonna let you test my first power attack with my new fist. What'd you think?
In an attempt to find somewhere to sell the contraband I found earlier, we accidentally stumble upon Neon. This is certainly my favorite place in the entire game, but I will admit, I think it's a missed opportunity to really make it feel dirty and crime-ridden. Stocked up on supplies, we're headed to complete the side mission Mantis. After we arrive, we run around the side to prevent having to fight anybody out front. A few of these enemies are as high as level 30, and I was really worried we'd be getting one shot, but this is where that marine armor from earlier comes in handy. As long as I keep my eye on my health and don't let it get too low, we're actually doing enough damage to kill even the level 30 enemies. This is also a wonderful way to grab some XP early in the game, as I hit level 7 and then by the end of it level 8 as well. Level 7 goes into wellness, while level 8 goes into gymnastics. At the end of the mission, you'll find a full set of guaranteed legendary armor here in this glass case. Save your game before you open it up and see if you like the perks. If none of them are relevant, simply load your save back and see what you get. I just need one piece of the armor to have bolstering on it, and on my second try, we get lucky. Bolstering says that the lower my health gets, I can get up to 100 damage resistance. Between this and the wanted perk, it doesn't keep us from outright dying, but it does allow us to maintain our low health damage boost for longer before needing to heal. Now, go back out of the room, interact with this terminal, and when you go back outside, voila! A free in-game ship that can easily carry us through the main story. Now this is still my first playthrough, and I've never played around with the ship builder until now, and all I can say is holy shit. If they did anything right with this game, it's this ship builder. I have an entire hour-long recording of my first time in here just exploring my options and figuring out how to add on more storage. Since there aren't any fist weapons in the game at all, we're literally done with gear. Even with armor mods, there just isn't anything relevant to increasing our fist damage. So, the only thing we can do to make us more powerful is continue leveling up and playing the main story. Continuing my quest with Sarah, we're introduced to the Varun Zealots. With our brand new ship, I'm feeling kinda cocky, and we fly headfirst into the... We quietly creep up to the satellite, avoiding the attention of the fanatics. After fisting some mercenaries and leveling up, we get access to one of our strongest perk trees, martial arts.
Look at this, I think it's... I can do it! Let's go! 15% increased chance to crit with a melee or unarmed attack. Unlock. Higher chance? Yeah.
Next, we find Mora on his ship.
Am I glad to meet whoever you two are?
Oh, okay.
Looks like we're all in one piece.
One Piece!
Happy to be alive, he hands over a piece of the artifact. And once back at the lodge, we tell Sarah to fuck off before we go and find Barrett.
When I met you in the summer.
Turns out, he and Heller had been kidnapped by some pirates, and instead of getting to witness this badass fight myself, I have to hear about it from Lynn.
Don't you lin me.
We hit level 10 and immediately grab our second martial arts perk, allowing us to disarm enemies more often. And after finally catching up to Heller, turns out more badass stuff happened right before I show up. How convenient.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's this crazy story about Barrett. Why would you guys not show me or let me participate in this story with Barrett? Have me get captured with Barrett when I come to get him, and then have us in the ship do the fighting. I mean, y'all put us in the Mothership Zeta missions in Fallout 3, right? Or Fallout New Vegas, whichever one, and we had to pretend to fight in that one. Why couldn't I have experienced this? There are two cool moments that Barrett did that both Lynn and now Heller are talking to me about, and I got to witness neither of them. What does that do for a player like me?
Did you say something?
Oh, go fuck.
When I find Barrett, he seems to actually be enjoying his time with Matsura and tries to talk some sense into me. But I didn't come all this way not to cave these guys' skulls in. With Barrett home safely, we move on to our mission with Sam Coe in Aquila City. Once we're in town, we find out a bank robbery has taken place and they're holding the employees hostage. I walk in the back door with zero finesse whatsoever, hoping they'll shoot the hostages, but for some reason, they just want to kill me.
Dummy. Damn, 69 damage. Oh, I died. That's the only problem. Sometimes they shred the fuck out of you.
Sam's got daddy issues, blah, blah, blah. We found another artifact, all in another day's work.
We're in one piece.
One Piece!
The next few missions are a series of fetch quests where we hunt down 2 more artifacts. I leveled up at some point and got our last perk in boxing. We're finally doing the maximum amount of physical damage possible with this build, and to be honest, it's really not that bad. However, I was really starting to get burnt out on the main story. I think Bethesda intended for us to do these main quests in between some of the really great faction quests that are also included in the game. Right when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Ooh, this is cool. Yeah, this is new. I like this. Yeah. Let's do more of this mysterious, creepy shit and have me fight some really weird aliens I haven't seen before. Some artifact protecting aliens, maybe. So just walk in. Oh. It's just gonna open right up. This was made by aliens, man. This is a whole, like... This is... Oh! I'm dead. Man, I'm dead. This just looks like a completed artifact. Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. Wow, this is so pretty. It's speeding up. There we go. Nice. A fucking portal, let's go! Go through it now. Or am I getting my space powers finally? I know I get Woo! That's loud. That's really fucking loud. Here we go. Show me the eye of God. Let's go. Woo! Oh. Man. Shouldn't have hit that vape that alien gave me. That did some wacky shit to my brain. Well, let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, wow.
I was so excited about these space powers, I immediately went out in search of more. I got pretty lucky and the first planet I found had the unlimited oxygen power. With this, I can power attack and sprint the entire time it's active without running out of oxygen. Next up was our mission with Walter on Neon. After speaking with and punching his wife, we secure a business deal with the shady man for a piece of the artifact.
I grabbed the artifact. I want to do it so bad. Oh, I want to do it so bad.
Some other rich guy named Slayton gets mad and impounds our ship for reasons they probably told me, but I didn't listen to. There was likely a diplomatic approach to this part of the mission, but I had just remembered that I could do unarmed in third person, and I really wanted to see how it looked. Needless to say, I was not disappointed.
Oh, shit. Oh, get shit on, kid.
At some point during the layoffs, I leveled up and had enough points to get another perk in wellness, then our first perk in neurostrikes. I'm already stunning people constantly with my fist, so this doesn't change much for the build. On our way back to the lodge, we're stopped by a Starborn, one of the beings tasked with protecting the artifacts. Unless we wanted to get out and fist fight in space, I didn't stand a chance, so I handed over the artifact. Part of me also just wanted to piss off Walter. With Walter home, we're immediately sent back out to retrieve some more artifacts. During the mission, I hit level 15 and finally get the EM damage upgrade from the Neuro Strikes perk tree. This adds EM damage to each of my unarmed attacks. It's worthless against these regular enemies as they often die in just a few punches, but against bosses, and more importantly, this Starborn, it's incredibly strong. EM damage knocks an enemy to the ground once the blue bar above their health fills up. Between this, the boxing knockdown, and my armor knockdown, most boss enemies spend the entire fight on the floor. This is the last perk that adds any sort of damage to my fists. Everything after this will just add more stun or give me more damage resistance. We collect one more artifact, and after turning them in, guess what? More fetch quests. This one's pretty cool because at least we get to meet an interesting character. After knocking his teeth in, he gives up the artifact. But I didn't come here just for the artifact. I came here for blood.
Where is it? Where's the artifact?
Get what you came for and leave.
You know what? No! I'm gonna kill all of you. Oh, damn, Ko, sorry. You gotta get out of the way when I'm swinging like this, bro.
Two of his goons actually proved to be pretty tough, but after they've been disarmed, it's really just a waiting game. I didn't think I'd find another piece of gear to replace what I had, but this backpack has bolstering on it. I have no idea if it stacks with the mod on my head, but I'm willing to risk it. When arriving back at the lodge, we're attacked by a Starborn called the Hunter. He's like a regular Starborn, except he's really mean. We know this because he's wearing black and sounds like he smokes too much. I spent like 10 straight minutes just knocking him down over and over and over until he finally fled. I thought maybe I defeated him, but as we run through the streets, he's literally just spawning clones everywhere. We managed to escape, and he congratulates me for besting him in combat and even gives me a weapon. When we arrive at the Eye, we find Barrett dead and lying in a pool of his own blood. This is the kind of drama I've been waiting for, and I really wish these types of moments happened more often throughout the story. I want my decisions to feel like they matter, and in this instance, I sacrificed my closest companion to protect the artifacts. Our next few missions have us following leads on something called Unity. I'm not going to pretend like I understand it, I just know we end up finding the Hunter. After boarding his ship, the emissary and the Hunter reveal their identities and describe what Unity means to them. It's pretty clear that the closer we get to finishing the story, we'll eventually have to pick a side. There are 3 remaining artifacts. We found one of them at this experimental lab. I enjoyed this mission quite a bit. It reminded me a lot of a similar mission you do in Dishonored 2, where you jump back and forth in time. I ultimately chose the reality that didn't already have everyone dead in it. The second artifact was to be found somewhere on Earth. When we arrive, everything is desolate and covered in sand. A quick jaunt through a NASA lab reveals the secret to why Earth is abandoned. Through studying the artifacts, early humans were able to discover the technology needed to grav jump, but the cost of such knowledge was devastating as it led to the destruction and abandonment of Earth. The Starborn that arrive are too tough, and I don't have the patience to sit here and slug each of them for 10 minutes. So we run back outside where the emissary and Hunter are awaiting my choice. I originally wanted to go with the emissary, but after giving it some thought, I was curious to see what would happen if we sided with the bad guy. They make it seem like this changes a lot in the story, but really it only changes who you fight at the end. We need only one last artifact to achieve Unity, and if we want it, we'll have to pry it from the cold dead fingers of the emissary.
There it is. Oh, is that him?
You're not the person I lost all those universes ago.
Yeah, I am.
But my heart still breaks just the same. Let's end this.
Let's do it. Okay, amp, CQB, heart plus. Whoa!
After you.
What? Oh, this is what happens. Oh, okay. It's like a multiverse fight, I guess. I'm so confused about what's happening. You're lucky you can't be disarmed. Just keep chasing him down, keep punching him, keep chasing him down, keep punching him. Okay, finally. Damn, that was crazy.
Not you.
Oh.
Not now.
Oh, shut up. Get fisted. Listen. Nice. No, give me his armor and give it to me now. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eternity's Gate. Legendary particle beam rifle. No idea. Well, I mean, obviously I can use it after the game is beaten, but for right now, this does nothing for me. The emissary dead and every artifact collected, we warp right into eternity. We speak with ourself
who gives us the option to stay behind and finish up whatever quests we want or move forward into the New Game Plus. And that's it. Can you beat Starfield using only your fists? Absolutely. Should you? Probably not. Not at least until someone makes a fist weapon mod or something relative to an unarmed overhaul. The skill trees are mostly fine in my opinion, but the combat gameplay is just so boring. I really do love this game, and that's why I've been critical of it throughout the video. I did start another playthrough using guns and such, and I've been absolutely adoring it. I just think if you're going to go through the trouble of adding an entire skill tree for unarmed, let's add some variety to the combat, as well as some builds that can survive in the higher level content. Quick shout out to our members. Our members get access to extra videos and early access to our regular uploads, as well as many other perks. If you're interested in joining, check out the description, and thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Later.